What up, great people? You know who it is and what it is. I am Mr. Darkeye. You tuned in to the Mr. Darkeye podcast right here on Anchor FM, New Soul Music Radio, the home of motivation to trust God and live your dreams. I hope you are having an amazing day, an amazing night. Whenever you're listening to this, doesn't matter. I just hope that at this particular time and moment right now, everything's amazing for you. If not, then don't worry about it, because this message today is hopefully going to help you, because I'm all about keeping you motivated, encouraged, and inspired in some way, shape, fashion, or form as you deal with everyday life, people, because life happens for us, especially when you are adulting in life. When you are living life as an adult, that's what adulting means. And we have to, go through things and experience all kinds of different stuff. And experience is definitely the best teacher, right? It is the most effective way for us to learn in life, but it's also the most expensive because it costs us our time. So make sure you are choosing wisely on the things that you are experiencing in life. All right? Because it can get a little costly when it comes to your time. Time is currency. But before we move on any further, I want to give a big shout out to my sponsors that I love so much. The Super Icy Brothers, premium frozen dessert shop, the Italian Ices is what it is. They serve, and they are oh so delicious. Please visit their two convenient locations in Rock Hill, South Carolina, and Pineville, North Carolina. Visit their website, supericybrothers.com, for more information. And when you do go by there, tell them Darkeye sent you. All right? Definitely, people. So the message today, though, is for us to talk about praying and pushing through life. Everyday life, things we go through, because life happens for us. Like I said before, life happens. And there's three things I want to talk about, that we find ourselves having to deal with. And it's hard. It's difficult sometimes to deal with these types of things or whatever. So we're going to talk about three different things. We're going to talk about praying and pushing through, silence, stubbornness, and stones. Yeah, it's getting deep. It's getting deep. Yeah. Silence, stubbornness, and stones. Praying and pushing through these things. All right, so we're going to start with silence. And this is a big one, because a lot of us, I'm starting with the big one. A lot of us deal with this a lot, especially for those of you that have a praying life. You have a prayer life. God himself is very strategic and intentional with everything he does. So even when he's silent, he's still saying something, because he's intentional. His silence can speak in ways our words, could never. When he's silent, he's still saying something. When Jesus was in the Garden of Gethsemane, he prayed 3 times. Remember? If you don't, you can Google this and look it up in the Bible. He prayed 3 times and didn't get a word out of God, because God had already given him his assignment. God had already told him what was needed. And then eventually, he saw it for himself when he went back to the 3 individuals that he brought with him during that time for that hour to pray with him, to watch with him and pray with him. And they didn't do it. They were sleeping on him. So he knew in that very moment right then and there what he needed to do. And that's the reason why God never said anything during that time when he was praying. Because he was like, yo, you about to see it for yourself. I ain't got to say nothing on what needs to get done. So even when God is silent in your life and you're praying and you're asking God, what's going on? What is this? Why am I dealing with this? And oh my God, this can't be happening to me. God calling God like, yo, I need you. And you hear nothing. His silence is speaking louder than you can ever imagine But you just have to be paying attention. You have to be paying attention. God is wanting you at that moment and point in time to go back, to think about what's already been revealed to you. He like, yo, I ain't got to say no more. I done already showed you. I done already told you. I ain't got to say no more. My silence is speaking. You know what you got to do. Make it happen. All right. So the second one is praying and pushing through the stubbornness. All right. So you ever been in a situation where it just feels like nothing is moving? Nothing is doing what you want it to do. Nothing is moving. Your request, what you're asking for, what you need, nothing is happening. Nothing. You got to pray and push through that. Because you have to understand that when those things are happening, when you're asking for stuff that you're not getting, you want things to move that ain't moving. Man, God is being very strategic and intentional in that moment as well, because you want something to move and God ain't moving it. You asking for something, but God ain't giving it. Because he knows us better than we know ourselves. Because a lot of times when we be wanting stuff, it's not what we need. It's something that doesn't have anything to do with why God got us here and the purpose of our lives. It's just our preference. It has nothing to do with God's purpose. It's us wanting our way. It has nothing to do with God's will. So that's the reason why we want stuff to move and ain't moving. We're asking for stuff that a lot of times that we possibly could not even be ready for. But we want it now. And things can get so, things can get so bad for us. Well, at least it's bad to our perspective. But things can get to a point where we feel like, you know what? I'm done. I don't even want it no more. And this is what happens with a lot of us, where we don't get the blessing because we'll cop out too early. We give up what we want most for whatever it is we can have now. Because we see it as a situation being held up and we're dealing with a bunch of just procrastination, and we're not getting what we want, and it's not happening fast enough for us. So we just give up on it. We give up what we want most for what it is we feel like we can have now. Because that's just how our minds work. Everything instant. But I'm gonna tell you like this right here. Anything instant that you consume too much of ain't good for you. It's like instant grits and whatever else, like oatmeal. It's a lot of stuff that we can eat when you just add water and you consume too much of that. It ain't good for you. Anything that be made quick ain't good for you if you consume too much of it. And a lot of us, we deal with this stuff or whatever because we feel like we ain't got time. We got to be in a hurry all the time. We ain't got time. Stuff ain't moving fast enough. Stuff ain't going fast enough for us or whatever. It's being stubborn. We ain't got time for this or whatever. It's not doing what we want it to do. So we want to go with the quick stuff. That's the reason why we got fast food, go through the drive-through, get that quick burger and them fries. It's convenient, right? You ain't got time to be going home, cutting up and preparing and nothing and all that stuff in the kitchen. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got time for that. You just want to go and get a quick meal and be done. You want to microwave something and be done, but that stuff ain't good for you. It's full of sugar and sodium and all kinds of bad stuff for you. We want the quick fix and the quick stuff and the overnight stuff and the 30 seconds. You know what I'm saying? Put it in the microwave. You know what I'm saying? Thing is done. Let's eat. That's what we want. But too much of that ain't good for you. It's not. We know that. But we continue to keep doing it because we like, I don't do it a lot. I don't do it too often. Let's say, 6 months, a year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years that went down the road, and you consistently continue to keep doing this. And next thing you know, you got all these issues and stuff with your body. And you're wondering why. But you got to push through, pray through these times and these moments where it feels like it's not moving and it's not going the way you wanted to go. Your life just on a pause. It's just stopped. But delayed doesn't mean denied. Push through, pray through, people. Push through, pray through the stubbornness. The last point we're gonna make, we gotta push through and pray through the stones. What are stones? What are stones? When the hard stuff get thrown at you. We all go through hard things that get thrown at us, right? Life comes at you hard. Life comes at you hard. It happens. Right? And we wondering why. We can't get past this. We can't get past the fact of why is this happening to me? Why am I being attacked? The thing is, this stuff is conditioning you and preparing you for something you don't even know that's even coming. Because like I said before, God's position allows him to see things we can't see. There's things that we can clearly see that's coming our way, that's getting thrown at us, that's harmful, and God steps in and blocks it. But there's things we don't even know about that God is protecting us from. His position allows him to see around the corner when we can only see to the corner. His position allows him to see over the hill when we can only see up the hill. His position allows him to see what tomorrow holds because he holds tomorrow. We can only see today. So we have to understand that when life comes at you hard and these stones get thrown at you and you trying to figure out why and what's going on and why is this happening and all that stuff, you're being prepared. You are being trained and educated and developed, because the harder things happen, the harder things are, the more prepared you're going to be. It's like a diamond. The pressure and the heat that it has to go through in the process and the cutting and everything else or whatever before you get to the diamond. So much has to happen before you get to the diamond. You are a diamond. So once you go through that process, through the cutting, the pressure, the heat, everything, you're going to reach a point where no matter what stones get thrown at you, you can no longer be broken. Push through, pray through. Pray through, push through. So just to recap, push through, pray through the silence. When God ain't saying nothing, he's still saying something. Just think about what he's already revealed to you, what he's already shown you, that you are already aware of, and you already know what you need to do. Just like Jesus in the Garden of Gethsemane, he already knew what he needed to do. Just the reason why he told God, like, yo, like, I don't want to do this, but if it's your will, then let it be. It's like I said, you have to choose God's will over your ways, his purpose over your preference. All right? Pray through, push through the stubbornness. When things ain't moving and things ain't quite going your way and things are taking a long time and does it seem like it's at a standstill and everything is stopped. All right? This is another time for you to understand this is God's protection. You being delayed, not denied. This is God's protection. You being delayed and not denied. Pray through, push through the stones. When life comes at you hard, when hard times get thrown at you or whatever, this is development. This is conditioning. This is preparation. Getting you ready for what's coming. Because like I said, you can see to the corner, but you can't see around the corner. You don't know what's waiting for you around there that God is preparing you for. It's just like physical fitness. You're lifting weights, those muscles are breaking down. They got to break down to build back up. It's preparation, people. It's getting you ready. And once you go through that process, where the pressure's being applied, the heat has been applied, the cuts has happened, now, no matter what comes at you now, you can no longer be broken. You're going to continue to feel the heat, but you ain't going to burn. Because God prepared you. So allow yourself to go through the journey and go through the process. Because it's what you need more than anything. You're not being punished, you're being prepared. Through it all, you're being prepared. Push through, pray through. Push through, pray through, people. And I promise you, you're going to get to God's promise for your life. In Jesus' name, amen. That's the message for today, people. I hope it definitely lit a fire in you and helped you see things from a different perspective. And always remember to push through and pray through your pain. And I promise you, you're going to be all right. In Jesus' name. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Mista Darkeye podcast. I really do appreciate y'all and love y'all for continuing to rock with me. There's more things on the way. We're going to continue to keep going up, rising up for 2022 and beyond. I'm so excited about my new ventures and everything I got going on. I'm going to go ahead and let the cat out the bag for those of you who didn't know, or if I haven't told you, it's okay. You got to hear the good news, the great news now. I am getting ready to be on Praise 100.9 in May, starting in May, and it is going to be exciting. You're going to be able to hear me on the radio every single Saturday for me to have the opportunity to spotlight some great, amazing, talented, gifted, independent Christian rappers and gospel singers on Praise 100.9. I've already started accepting submissions. I am now accepting submissions for June. So, as a matter of fact, I pretty much already got my lineup for June, just locking them in. But if you want to submit your music, please do so. newsoulmusic 14@gmail.com, and we'll see what we can do. But in the meantime, just be on the lookout. May, every Saturday starting in May and beyond, you're going to hear me on the radio. 12:15 p.m. is when the show starts. I look forward to connecting with y'all on there and continue to support the podcast. You know what we're doing on here. We're going up. Everything is amazing. God is amazing. I love y'all. Thank y'all again so much for tuning in. I am Mista Darkeye, your bro fan brother from another mother. And this has been the Mista Darkeye podcast that you have been listening to and being motivated by. And be sure to come back anytime you need this motivation. You know where to find me. We out.